Welcome, Peter.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining Marie and myself in
You're
Power World. And we were very, very lucky to have you on board a few months back. Quite a few months back.
Yes.
Yeah. At our coach training, and it was a privilege to have you join us.
Thank you.
You made a fantastic contribution to that coaching journey that the participants and we went on. So what was the reason for joining that coaching course back then?
Good question. I think to me coaching is a investment in self, really, in the end. And so I wanted to make that investment. I wanted to get involved in coaching. I wanted to expand my personal understanding of myself and my motives and those types of things. And I thought the course was a great opportunity to get involved. I didn't know what I would be getting out of the course, but that's what got me into the course.
So it was quite a leap of...
Yeah, self-discovery. Let's see what's going on. Take a little deeper dive into things.
Yeah. So what was your biggest takeaway as a result of completing that 6-day course?
The biggest takeaway, I think, just, the power of what's capable, I think, in the end. From my technical background and the way I kind of approach life is quite end result and then working backwards. So I identify the thing and then kind of identify the steps all the way backwards and where do I start. That's how I identify where I start. And I think in coaching and in the idea of non-technical approach to that, what I took away from the course is when you get to that, when the coaching has become successful and that moment in time arrives, that end result arrives, it's very genuine. Because what happened for me during those times that I experienced it was a very familiar, I guess would be the right word, understanding of something that I didn't know I had, or I didn't know I wanted, or I didn't know existed within me. And when I finally arrived to that through the techniques and through the process of coaching, the self-discovery was that this thing is very familiar. And that gave me, I think, generated an idea of truth, that the thing itself is a very true thing for me. That discovery is very true and very authentic, because I felt so familiar. I felt that I've arrived at something so, understandable and so familiar within myself. So the idea of getting back the steps required to arrive at that moment, I think, although it's a combination of things, is the biggest thing I took away. Is that moment, and then how do you get there in the process of, that journey, I think.
So it sounds like the coaching process, or the and maybe the course, it shifted your boundaries of thinking beyond where you'd been before, where you'd ever been before.
Yeah, of course. I think coaching would have done that, right? So my experience of coaching was exposed through the class, right? So I hadn't had any coaching before that. I hadn't arrived at a moment like that outside of taking the course. So it was an interesting experience for the course itself, because it wasn't necessarily a coaching experience for me. It was your training on how to utilize the techniques and how to help people go into a place that can be considered as coaching. So through that experience and through the types of trainings and the types of exercises and the actual coaching that happens in class, I arrived at that result of, now I think I know what coaching is, and along the way I've identified, or I've learned the tactics and tools and things required to try and get to that place with somebody. So
fantastic. So what do you think is the power of coaching? What do you think is the real power of it?
The power of coaching. Yeah, simply put, I think it's self-investment. That's the power. It's the very journey, the idea that you will sit down and try and coach, or that I would do that or someone would do that, is going to result in something, in a moment where that investment rings true, where they have new enlightenment, they have a new idea, they have a new, light bulb. Something has happened, a moment has happened that can impact their life and that can change their life.
Wonderful.
Right? And my life.
Yeah.
So I think that's the power of coaching is providing the opportunity for enlightenment, for change, for growth.
And if someone asked you about the course, or not potentially our course, but any accredited, reputable coaching course, what would you say to them?
Well, I would say take your course, is what I would say.
Okay.
I've taken seminars, I've read books, I've done things, and the approach that Empower World takes is a very hands-on approach, which is good. So as you introduce the concept, and then you teach the technique, you then apply actual practice. And those three things, I think, combined at every step of the way throughout the 6 days, makes a major difference. So you're not sitting down, here's a textbook, go try it afterwards. It's not a do part of it here, do part of it at home. It's a very idea, technique, practice. And the more you do that, and each one plays on the one you learned before, and next thing you know, by the end of 6 days, you've really practiced and put in play the ideas that you've been taught. So it's a unique experience, I think. The way that you teach coaching is unique.
Thank you. It's very, very kind.
Thank you. Well done.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
And your insights. Both Marie and I really appreciate your presence and your support. And thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.